Hey all, here at OS Reviews, you're watching our hands-on review of the iSWEO Digital Posture Corrector. This is a small wearable that clips onto your shirt magnetically, and it has motion detectors like accelerometers to know if your posture has changed in a negative way. So if your shoulders are tilting too far forwards, it will vibrate and give you a nudge to tell you to try to straighten your back once more. This could be a really useful gadget to people who work desk jobs and are consistently sitting down and want to correct their posture and live kind of a more healthy lifestyle and improve, again, their spinal and kind of back health over longer periods of time. Now, what's interesting is that this gadget is actually very low cost. It sells online for under $35, making it quite affordable. Part of the reason is because there are no Bluetooth or Wi-Fi chipsets built on in. Instead, it just has a very simple, again, accelerometer as well as vibration motor to give you that information. There's no other companion app that you need to sync it with a smartphone for it to work. So it's a dedicated unit that everything is built right on in. In terms of the packaging, it's also quite simple. You have a few of these kind of pads that you can reuse as well as attach onto the back of your skin just to prevent the contacts from, I guess, irritating your skin. Here we have a soft carrying cloth that protects the actual device inside. And this is what it looks like along with the charging dock. And underneath here we have just the instruction manual that tells you how to use it. It's also called the Tirami-su posture coach, kind of interesting. And it uses simply a micro USB cable for charging, as you can see here. So basically each time that you sit down and turn the unit on, it has to recalibrate itself. And then when you are trying to change your posture, let's say you're leaning too far forwards or too far backwards, it will give you a vibration. In here we also have the micro USB cable. So taking a look at the wearable, it's made out of this soft polycarbonate plastic with rounded corners that makes it look and feel rather comfortable. The back just has the company's logo, and then on the side here we have access to a rubber flap that can be opened to reveal the micro USB port for charging. It's relatively small, lightweight, and non-obtrusive. And there's just a dedicated power switch and an LED light on the very top. This piece on top is just the magnet. The Tiramisu, or the sensor, is actually just in this little square, and then this is just for clamping it onto your shirt so it stays in place. And the magnet here seems to be pretty strong. There's a company's logo on the top, so it can hold its weight as long as you're not clamping it onto a really thick piece of article or clothing. In terms of the battery performance, it will last for about 1 month before you need to recharge it again. That's one of the benefits of not having a Bluetooth or Wi-Fi chip that's constantly, sending the information to a phone, is that the battery performance is significantly longer. And you only have to charge it for 45 minutes once a month. Afterwards, you clamp this near your collarbone, near the top of the t-shirt, and afterwards you can turn it on. So once you have it first clamped onto the t-shirt, you switch the toggle over to the right. There's going to be a vibration followed by a blue and red blink, and now it's going to be ready to be calibrated. So make sure your head and shoulders are pulled back, and we want to hold this position for a few seconds until the device will vibrate for 2 more times, and that will indicate that it has successfully aligned itself with the preferred posture. The company claims that you can also kind of readjust the alignment process, let's say 2 to 3 times a day, or each time that you change the posture significantly in your chair, so it doesn't keep on vibrating. So now if we want to tilt it at a really different angle, maybe at a desk or something like this, you can see how it's vibrating. So that is its warning that we've change the posture too much, and it will stop and then vibrate 3 more times in this succession, just to tell you to change your posture back into this upwards position, as you can see there. And afterwards it will stop, and it will remind you for 4 more times if you kind of ignore its warnings after, let's say, 5 minutes or 10 minutes, and it actually works pretty well. The vibrations itself are actually fairly vigorous, so you'll definitely be feeling it, and it definitely is noticeable enough that you would want to then recalibrate it or change your position. Since it's very lightweight, so I could wear this for an entire day really without noticing it. The only thing that kind of gives it away is this small dot on the front of your shirt, and you can always disguise that by wearing a jacket over that. As a quick demonstration of what it looks like on a shirt, you can see that, again, this is what it would look like on a t-shirt if you're not wearing anything to cover it up. Really not anything too obtrusive. It looks just like something printed as a design on the shirt, because again, it's very small, lightweight, and slim. One thing is the calibration process, like I mentioned, does take about 20 seconds to initiate or to restart if you're trying to recalibrate it. I do wish that process would be a little bit faster, but it's probably because they're using a slower, let's say, processor, a very small microprocessor in here for detecting the motion and accessing, again, the commands. Otherwise, as far as sensitivity, it actually is very sensitive. So if you're slouching your shoulders forward, slight movements in your shirt will also trigger the vibrations. There is a slight 7-second delay or latency, so that after it's detected your posture, is off. If you correct it within, let's say, 7 to 10 seconds, it will, not always be vibrating. So it waits for a few seconds before telling you. But I found that it actually worked really quite well. So even if you were slouching your shoulders forward, the shirt's position would often change as well and trigger a detection. Obviously, if they do decide to come up with the next generation model and add maybe Bluetooth functionality and a companion app, you might be able to program some additional features, such as the intensity of the vibration, such as allowing this to also be a wearable so that it vibrates whenever you get, let's say, an incoming call or text message. Maybe that has a different type of vibration. So those are all considerations, for the future. But for now, it's a very simple device that actually works quite well. It has a very good problem that it's trying to solve, both for kids as well as for the elderly and for, again, people who work long desk jobs. Overall, I think this is a very clever and small solution as well. I've seen some previous mechanical designs which are physical kind of belts that you have to strap onto your back, but I think that this is much more comfortable as well as discreet in the day to day. It actually works quite well for walking too. So if you have it clamped on and then calibrated so that you're walking with your back straight, slight vibrations and movements, up and down will not really affect the sensor. It also stays in place really well with the magnetic clamp. It never really got loose, so that was really nice. So if you're starting to bend your back forwards and walking in an incorrect posture, maybe for the elderly, it will vibrate and notify you that you should correct your posture. What this isn't for would be, if you're working a job where you have to do a lot of bending or larger range of movements with your waist. For those type of activities, it won't fare as well, just because it's going to constantly be vibrating and telling you that you've changed your posture. So you can check out more details about this in our official written review, but for now, this has just been our hands-on video. So thanks for watching here at OS Reviews. This has been the iSWEO Digital Posture Corrector Wearable.